I will not seek re-election as governor. And so, as I thought about this announcement that I wouldn't run for re-election and what that means for Alaska, I thought about, well, how much fun some governors have as lame ducks. They maybe travel around their state, travel to other states, maybe take their overseas international trade missions. So many politicians do that. And then I thought, that's what's wrong. Many just accept that lame duck status and they hit the road, they draw a paycheck, they kind of milk it. And I'm not going to put Alaskans through that. I promised efficiencies and effectiveness. That's not how I'm wired. I'm not wired to operate under the same old politics as usual. I promised that 4 years ago, and I meant it. That's not what is best for Alaska at this time. I'm determined to take the right path for Alaska, even though it is unconventional and it's not so comfortable. With this announcement that I'm not seeking re-election, I've determined it's best to transfer the authority of governor to Lieutenant Governor Parnell. And I am willing to do this so that this administration, with its positive agenda and its accomplishments and its successful road to an incredible future for Alaska, so that it can continue without interruption and with great administrative and legislative success. My choice is to take a stand and affect change and not just hit our head against the wall and watch valuable state time and money, millions of your dollars, go down the drain in this new political environment. Rather, we know we can affect positive change outside government at this moment in time on another scale and actually make a difference for our priorities. And so we will, for Alaskans and for Americans. Let me go back quickly to a comfortable analogy for me, and that's sports, basketball. And I use it because you are naive if you don't see a full court press from the national level picking away right now. A good point guard, here's what she does. She drives through a full court press, protecting the ball, keeping her head up because she needs to keep her eye on the basket. And she knows exactly when to pass the ball so that the team can win. And that is what I'm doing, keeping our eye on the ball. That represents sound priorities. Remember, they include energy independence and smaller government and national security and freedom. And I know when it's time to pass the ball for victory. And I've given my reasons now, very candidly, truthfully, and my last day won't be for another few weeks, so the transition will be very smooth. In fact, we look forward to swearing in Sean Parnell up there in Fairbanks at the conclusion of our governor's picnic at the end of the month. And I really don't want to disappoint anyone with this announcement, not with the decision that I have made. All I can ask is that you trust me with this decision and know that it is no more politics as usual. And some Alaskans, it seemed today, maybe they don't mind wasting public dollars and state time, but I do. And I cannot stand here as your governor and allow the millions of dollars and all that time go to waste just so that I can hold the title of governor. And I don't know if my children are going to allow it anyway. Some are going to question the timing of this, and let me just say that this decision has been in the works for a while. In fact, this decision comes after much consideration, prayer and consideration. And finally, I polled the most important people in my life, my kids, where the count was unanimous. Well, in response to asking, hey, do you want me to make a positive difference and fight for all our children's future from outside the governor's office? It was 4 yeses and 1 hell yeah. And the hell yeah sealed it. And someday I'll talk about the details of that. I think, though, much of it for the kids had to do with recently seeing their baby brother Trig mocked and ridiculed by some pretty mean-spirited adults recently. And by the way, I sure wish folks could ever understand all that we can learn, all of us, from someone like Trig. I know he needs me, but I know that I need him even more. And what a child can offer to set priorities right, know that time is precious. The world needs more Trigs, not fewer. My decision was also fortified during this most recent trip to Kosovo and Landstuhl to visit our wounded soldiers overseas. Those who truly sacrifice themselves in war for our freedom and our security. And we can all learn from our selfless troops. They're bold and they don't give up and they take a stand and they know that life is short, so they choose not to waste time. They choose to be productive and to serve something greater than self and to build up their families and their states and our great country. These troops and their important missions now, there is where truly the worthy causes are in this world, and that's where our public resources should be, our public priority, with time and resources spent on that, not on this superficial, wasteful political blood sport. So may we all learn from them. Really, we've just got to put first things first. And first things first, as governor, I love my job and I love Alaska. And it hurts to make this choice, but I'm doing what's best for Alaska, and I have explained why. Though I think of the saying on my parents' refrigerator, a little magnet that says, "Don't explain, your friends don't need it, and your enemies won't believe you anyway." But I've given my reasons. There's no more politics as usual, and I'm taking my fight for what's right for Alaska in a new direction. Now, despite this, I sure don't want anyone, any Alaskan, dissuaded from entering politics after seeing this real climate change that began in August. No, we need hardworking average Americans fighting for what's right, and I will support you because we need you, and you can affect change, and I can too on the outside. We need those who will respect our Constitution, where government's supposed to serve from the bottom up and not move toward this top-down big government takeover, but rather will be protectors of individual rights, who also have enough common sense to acknowledge when conditions have drastically changed, and they're willing to call an audible and pass the ball when it's time so the team can win, and that's what I'm doing. Remember, Alaska, America is now more than ever looking north to the future, and it'll be good. So God bless you. And from me and from my family to all Alaska, you have my heart. And we're going to be in really great hands, the capable hands of our Lieutenant Governor, Sean Parnell. And Lieutenant General Craig Campbell then will assume the role of Lieutenant Governor. And it's my promise to you that I will always be standing by, ready to assist. We have a good, positive agenda for Alaska. Take the words of General MacArthur. He said, "We are not retreating, we are advancing in another direction."